Understand IELTS in 10 minutes. In this video, I'm going to talk about IELTS in detail. This is Mubarak Ali Khan from GSL Pakistan, and today in this video you will learn everything about IELTS. You will learn examiner's perspective of IELTS, what examiners want from you. You will also get to know the format of IELTS. You will get to know the pattern of it, and also how to prepare so that you get the required score, targeted score, be it 7, 8 or maybe 8.5. So in this video, I'm going to give you a walkthrough detailed review of IELTS. First of all, there are 4 modules in IELTS: speaking, listening, reading, and writing. In speaking module, first of all, you have 3 parts. In part 1, they're going to be 5 to 7 questions, and they require you to answer 3 to 4 phrases answered. In next one, which is going to be your cue card session, you will get a cue card. You will think about the card for a minute. You may make your notes if you want to, and then you would have to speak on the card for 2 minutes. Actually, in cue card, let me give you a short demonstration. For example, there are common topics like describe a film or series you have watched. So if I would give you a demonstration on that, they ask about when do you watch that, with whom did you watch that, so would you recommend it to somebody or not. Let me give you a demonstration. So for example, you prepared it for a minute, आपने अपने notes वगैरह बना लिए, और उसके बाद अब आप उसको 2 minutes talk का time आता है, वो आपको 1 minute से 2 minutes का time देते हैं for speaking. So if I speak or mimic your this topic, so how would it go? Well, I'm going to talk about a web series which I recently watched, and the name of the series is House of Cards. It's basically United States of America, US-based web series in which they talk about somebody who wanted to become president of United States of America, but his counterparts, his opponents did not even want him to become a simple M&A. So it's a complete trial of that person. It's a complete success story of that person, that how he went through the positives and negatives and how he reached his destination. So such kind of movie. In that we had Mr. Frank, who was the major character, and he spoke and he demonstrated that how a person from scratch and can start and can reach the top. So overall, I really liked the film, and I was watching that with one of my cousins, which I usually watch movies with, and I had fun during that web series. So now if we move on with the other part of it, and based upon this you will have part 3 as well. In part 3 it's going to be some discussion based part. For example, the same thing about film and series, they may ask some questions. It can be something like would you like to watch a movie with a friend or family? Why or why not? So for example, if such kind of questions you're exposed to, you have to answer those questions too. Maybe that, okay, I would like to watch movies with my friends majorly, because sometimes we have some adult scenes or maybe obscene elements which a family would not like to watch, or it would be a little uncouth to watch with them. So such kind of questions you are basically exposed to, and you have to show how fluent you are, how accurate you are, how connected you are throughout your talk. And you know, in British Council or IDP, you have a choice of going speaking with in person as well as video conferencing. One is in person, in which you will have a person to whom you would speak with. The second one is going to be a video conferencing part, in which it is going to be a video conferencing in which you may be having a foreigner if you're from Pakistan, or maybe if you're from Asia, India, Bangladesh, if you are from such places. So you would have maybe a person on screen you are talking to. It could be a Skype call, and second, it could be in person too. So this is overall speaking module of IELTS. In writing, now we have 2 different types. Okay, if you go for academic IELTS, so it has slightly changed task 1, and if you go to general training IELTS, it has a little difference. All right, as far as academic IELTS and general training IELTS is concerned, the writing module has a slight difference. In academic, it's going to be a report writing in part 1. As far as the general training is concerned, it has a letter writing in that. In academic training, you have a report which may be a graph, a chart, a table, a diagram, or a process is shown to you and you do it. Be it comparative or IELTS or academic IELTS, it's the same. So in general training IELTS, part 1 is a letter. It's going to be maybe a formal letter, which can be an informal letter or a semi-formal letter. So what you have to do is, You have to write 150 words on that. And part 2 is same for academic as well as for general, and you have to write 250 words on that. Now, what is important is not what you are writing. Important part is how your examiner is going to check it. As far as I am concerned, I myself was writing examiner of British Council, so I can give you inside news, and that is that your IELTS academic as well as general is checked on 4 skills, on 4 patterns of your writing. Number 1, your task achievement should be there, in which you achieve your task. If it is a report, so it should be written like a report. So if it is a letter, so it should be written like a letter. And if it is an essay, so it should be written like an essay. And you have to touch all the basic requirements. For example, 150 words, part 1 should be achieved. 250 words, part 2 should be achieved at least. And then if it is, the question is in present tense, so go for the question tense and then complete that accordingly. If it requires past tense assistance, so go for the past, and likewise for the future. Then the second one, which is important, that is cohesion and coherence. Some cohesive devices are supposed to be added. For example, first of all, secondly, thirdly, to put in a nutshell, if I speak about it, if I write about it, such kind of cohesive devices are supposed to be there. And then it comes to the next part, which is going to be your lexical resource, and that is part of vocabulary. High vocab, relevant vocabulary, relevant semantic field. For example, if the topic is about car, so you have to talk about car, but you can keep using different words for car. For example, it could be car, it could be automobile, it could be conveyance and such things. And then the last one, which is the toppest, I would say a word which does not exist, shows the intensity. Because the last one word, that is grammatical range and accuracy. Grammatical range and accuracy, if it is there, for example, it's not that you are not making basic mistakes. It is basically that how to the next level are you writing in terms of its expressions. How compound, complex structures are you using? Are you adding some bare infinitives in that or not? Are you adding some conditionals or not? So that's how it is. So this is how your writing is assessed as well as your writing is taken care of. All right, then we have spoken about speaking part. We have also talked about writing part. These 2 parts are known as production parts. In speaking and writing, you produce something. As far as your reception parts are concerned, the next 2 are reception parts, that is reading and listening. Let me start with the reading. If you're from Asia, if you're from Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka perhaps, or if you're from maybe Nepal, or if you're from China even, us have a big problem in reading skills. So why is there? Because we are not that habitual of reading things generally speaking, especially in Pakistan. So this is the toughest module considered in Pakistan here. In academic and general training, it has some difference. General training is comparatively easier than academics, and academics of course would be tougher. So how it happens, overall you have 2200 to 2800 words in your reading module of IELTS. Basically you have 3 passages. IELTS has a nature. इसकी nature ये है कि ये basic से advanced की तरफ जाता है. Basic part 1, a little intermediate part 2, and then advanced part 3. Passage 1 is easy, passage 2 is difficult, passage 3 is the toughest. So overall you have 40 questions in that, and in those 40 questions you have to qualify at least 27 to get a band 6 and above. So what is there actually? You have true, false, not given questions. You have multiple choice questions. You have yes, no, not given questions. You have labeling the diagram. You have mapping the diagram. You have gap filling. You have matching the heading. You have matching the columns. And such kind of questions you are exposed to. Okay, so what I used to give a tip for that, and that is the utmost important, that is that how you should manage your time. That is important. You know, everybody has a different reading style. If I am from language background, so my reading style would be different, and if somebody is from, let's say, some other language, some other backgrounds, for example, it can be they're from business background, maybe they're from media background, so their language and reading skills would altogether be different. But important point is their management of time. So I would encourage you to do not manage your time overall, manage your time question by question. So for example, you have 40 questions, in total you have 60 minutes, and you do not have any extra time to transfer your answers onto the answer sheet. So what you should do, you should take 1 minute for one question. If one question is done, good. Not done, no problem, move on. do 40 questions, and let's say you have attempted 27 out of 40, then you still have 20 minutes to go through those questions again, and this would be your second attempt to go to that part. So go to that part and then transfer the answers in the last 3 to 4 minutes. You would be all good to go. And practice makes a man perfect. In reading especially, I would say that if you're not practicing a lot, it won't work. In writing, you need good proper feedback. In speaking, you require proper practice. But reading, and of course, I mentioned the speaking part. So in speaking, actually, if you don't have a proper person to speak with, to have your conversations with, to have your discussions with, you will still be struggling. For the reading part, again, I would say there are 40 questions, 60 total minutes you have, and most importantly, you don't have any transfer time. If you go for a computer-level IELTS, you would be better going by that, since you know that IELTS has started one skill retake. So if you are weak in reading, or if you are weak in listening or somewhere, so you would have a chance to reappear in one of the modules. So we are done with writing, reading, and speaking part. As far as listening part is concerned, most importantly, listening part is the easiest part we have ever come across, since we had been listening since our childhood, but still it requires some attention. So it has 40 questions. Like reading, it has 45 minutes for the test, and then you get 10 minutes transfer time in your paper-based listening test. But in computer level, you don't have extra time to transfer your answers. So to cut a long story short, in listening part also, you have to basically predict the answer. This is the key for listening. If you're predicting the answers, it means that you're going super well with your listening part. And then you should know that if it is initial part of the blank, so it is supposed to be a place of a subject where you're supposed to have a noun. If it is the ending part, of course, that is the place of the object, and then you should be doing that way with the nouns too. But as far as the overall understanding is concerned, if you're misspelling a word, it's same in the reading too. And if you are basically not taking care of the capitalization as far as your proper nouns are concerned, you would be penalized. And if they ask you to write no more than 2 words and you write 3 words, mark gone. And if they say that 1 word or a number, so either you can write a word or a number. You cannot write word or a number. Like you cannot add both of them together. So to cut a long story short, your IELTS requires particular rigorous activity and proper thorough feedbacks with the experts. And that's all we had to say about IELTS. I tried my best to cover all this data to be fit into 10 minutes. I didn't want to take extra time, but if I took, teachers are somehow fussy. They keep moving and lingering upon words. So pardon me for that. If you have questions, leave in the comment sections and we'll try reaching you or address your queries in our next video. Till then, God bless you and God bless Pakistan.